to stretch. We're going to start off today with a little spine stuff that I've been working on in my own practice, and then we're going to move to some shoulder stuff. Hopefully throwing some scap stuff in there as well. All right. So to start, I want to start off with some segmental cat cows. I'm going to take the block, or you can use a pillow, and I'm going to put it between my thighs, my legs, my knees, to help create a little bit of tension in my hips to help kind of keep them steady. All right, setting up in a squared position. So look under me, I have a good box shape underneath me, and I am going to start from the cat position, totally flexed. And we're just going to hold here and breathe for a second. And I want to talk about what we should be feeling here. So we want to feel with every inhale our whole torso expand. And with every exhale, our torso relax and deflate. In terms of the spine, we want to feel a long spine and a curved spine. So the segmental cat cow, there are 4 different variations of it. We're going to start from the top and work our way down to the tailbone, 1 vertebrae at a time. This is going to take a while. All right, because we're trying to indeed move 1 vertebrae at a time. So let's start head first. Think about tucking and extending every vertebrae along the neck. Once you reach that, think about pulling the sternum forward and through the shoulders. Keep it slow. Try to keep that tailbone tucked underneath you as we extend the upper back. And now we start to make the way down to the mid-back. And then to the lumbar spine. Keep breathing. Let's start from the top again and go back to our cat position. Elongate as we flex the neck. Now think tucking the chest and sternum back through. Try not to rock anything forward or backwards as you do this. All right, we're back to our cat position. Let's move from the tailbone now. Tailbone starts. Elongate the spine from down there. Extend the spine from down there. Still breathing. We're back to our cat, or our cow position. Let's go back to our cat one last time. Tailbone first, breathe. This one's the hardest for me. Whew. All right, nice work. So, see, that segmental cat cow took about 5-6 minutes to kind of run through all of those. That's the kind of attention we should be spending on our spine at least daily. All right, now I want to go into some thoracic spine cat cows. This is another thing I've been working on. I'm getting quite frustrated with it. Because this is, for me, it's very hard to feel. So, you know, don't let the frustration get to you. Keep working on it. So we're going to sink back onto our heels. And this will hopefully help kind of keep our lumbar spine in a locked position. All right. I'm going to have my hands out in front of me. And we're going to try our best to start by rounding the spine. Just that upper back. Keep searching for that long, rounded upper back, holding the lumbar spine in place. All right, I found mine. I'm going to breathe for a second. And now I'm going to move head first. Into extension. Working my way down the spine, trying to extend that thoracic vertebrae. I'm going to work my way back into flexion, head first. Now into extension, starting from the bottom of the T-spine. Make the thoracic spine long. Pull the sternum forward. And let's tuck it back under. Good, and that is our segmental cat-cow of just the T-spine. I felt like I even rushed through that a little bit because it's very difficult for me and I lose focus. So sometimes what helps, if you are losing focus, just pause for a second, come out of it, and retry. All right? That's what I want to get through for the spine today. I want to get into some shoulder stuff. So I'm going to do my shoulder stuff from a half kneel position or lunge position. All right? And this is just a position that I don't generally work from, so I thought today would be good to switch it up. All right? So I want you to find a good lunge position. Back toes curled underneath you. It's directly behind my back leg. All right. Front foot is forward, just nice and square. Try not to hyperextend the spine or lean back. Try not to hunch over either. All right, so we're right here. We're gonna go arms out to the side. I have balls in my hand for two reasons. One, to show orientation of how I'm spinning my arm, and two, to help irradiate and squeeze. All right, so I want to create a little bit of tension through the body, so I'm moving with purpose and tension. All right, so we're going to start off with some capsular carves. We're going to rotate, or axial rotations, axial rotations, trying to rotate the true shoulder joint in its socket. So we're here, and let's roll forward into internal rotation as far as we can get, and backward into external rotation. I'm squeezing the balls at about 50% of my maximal squeeze. And internal rotation. External rotation. How far can you get? That's 2. We're going to do 3 more. Feel the shoulder rotating, not the elbow. Three. Try not to flare the ribs up as you externally rotate. 4. 5. Nice, shake that out. Good, I'm just gonna switch legs just for some evenness here. And the next thing we're gonna go into is some bent arm capsular carves, all right? So it's gonna be the same kind of theory that we just worked on, making sure that we're rotating through the shoulder, but now our elbow is gonna be bent. So it's gonna be a little bit different sensation. Biggest fault here is that we don't wanna shrug or move our scapula too much when we're doing this. We wanna try to isolate the shoulder joint. So I'm here, breathing, stabilizing, squeezing. Internally rotate. Externally rotate. That's 1. How far back can you get? 2. How far down can you get without shrugging? 3. 3. 4. 4. Last one here. Try to get a little further. 5. 5. Ooh. Good work. Good. All right. We're going to go into some side lying, internal rotation, PAILs and rails. All right. So we've been over these PAILs, rails a lot. All right. These are a staple in kin stretch. So let's focus on a good setup here. All right. We want to pin that shoulder down, elbows bent. I'm gonna have my feet out in front of me, knees bent. Head and neck are neutral. Notice where the ball's facing, kind of down towards my crotch or belly button. And I'm just gonna search for a stretch behind my left shoulder here through internal rotation. If I kind of roll my chest forward over the shoulder, I should be able to feel it a little bit more. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
We're going to hold this for 2 minutes here. Try not to let the neck get tense during this. Other parts of the body can be a little tense to help stabilize. But you really want to focus on breathing and relaxing, allowing the nervous system to calm down. And we do that with some maximal expansive breaths. Really exhaling, focus on that exhale. Remember, our PAILs contraction is going to be to press the left arm up into the right arm, creating an isometric contraction of that stretched tissue. And the rails contraction is going to be activation of the internal rotators. So kind of stuff, lats, subscapularis, trying to pull the arm down more into internal rotation. I'm trying to get the ball closer to the floor. Keep breathing. Almost there. Alexa, cancel timer. All right, I'm going to create a little tension, squeezing the ball, tension through the shoulder, and slowly start to activate that stretched tissue by pushing up into my right arm. Slowly ramp up the amount of pressure that you're giving that right arm until you get to your safest, greatest pressure today. I'm going to increase the intensity relatively high today. I'm at full intensity. I'm going to hold it there for about 15 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's go internal rotation. That feels a little increase of the stretch behind the arm. If I do that right, don't let the arm slide, rotate it. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go back to that stretch. It would have been better for me to have my head elevated a little bit more here. Especially I'm working on some neck issues I think contribute to my shoulder, and alignment of the neck kind of gets in the way of that. All right, come on out of that. Woo! All right, I'm gonna go right into a passive range lift off for external rotation and abduction. All right, so I'm going to flip over here, still on the left arm. We'll come back to the right. I'm here, 90 degrees at the armpit, 90 degrees at the elbow. I'm going to go into a kind of a slight, well, let's just keep neutral spine. We'll stabilize there. Start breathing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch the shoulder blade down and back and try to lift that arm off the ground. And rest. Whew. So, I can't quite get it off. There's a little bit of open angle pain. Open angle pain. And that's from the bicep tendonitis I'm working on. But basically we're going to try to lift this whole arm off the ground and then externally rotate. Alright? So let's try it again. Set the scapula. That's 2. Number 3, let's set the scapula. Three. Alright, I activated my butt and my abs a little bit more there. Help me kind of get this up off the ground. 2 more. Four. 1 more. 5. Whew. That's very difficult for me on that side. Alright, got a little bicep tendonitis, a little supraspinatus tendonitis. I'm working on all those things, but lifting up off the ground makes my arm feel quite heavy. Alright, let's go into the other side here. Sleeper stretch. Try a little bit more elevation for the neck. Should feel a little bit better for me. That's good. Alright. We'll go into our 2-minute hold for PAILs and rails. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
All right, let's breathe and try to find the proper stretch. Definitely feel a stretch. It's not exactly where I want it, so I'm going to keep exploring. And you keep doing that too. Find exactly how to get the stretch that you want. There we go. It's sometimes hard to pin that shoulder down to get the exact stretch that you want and need. Especially, I have broader back and broader shoulders with some meat on there. Sometimes that kind of slides and flops around. So it's difficult to find the stretch sometimes. But I got it. Breathe. What I don't want to feel is a stretch in my elbow, really any stress on the elbow. So I'm going to glide that hand down to help kind of stabilize that upper arm. See my left hand's on top of my right bicep area. Trying to help stabilize that and make sure I find the correct stretch. Still breathing, nice deep belly breaths. Alexa, how much time left?
You have 10 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
Alexa, cancel timer.
2-minute timer canceled.
All right, here we go. PAILs contraction, push the right arm up into the left arm, activating that stretched tissue. So ramping up to your safest, greatest pressure today. And rails, go. Try to internally rotate more. More. I'm trying to get this arm down, pulling it off of my left hand. Five, four, three, two, 1. Go back to your stretch. A few more seconds here, just stretching it out in this newfound range of motion. And relax. All right, let's go immediately into our passive range liftoff. And for abduction, external rotation, simultaneously here on this right side. You'll see how much easier this side is for me. Pinch. All right. Let's try it again. Two. Three. Four. Five. Good, nice work. All right. Whew. I want to go into a passive range liftoff for some shoulder flexion now. So now that we just worked some rotation of the shoulders, I want to go into some more linear movements, passive range liftoff of shoulder flexion. And we're going to do it from a few different positions here. All right. The first position is going to be child's pose. So we're going to get down in child's pose. I'm going to use my left arm. I'm actually going to bring a block between my legs. Again, the block is just there to kind of help me create more tension against objects in my environment, which allows me to create more tension internally, help me push off some more stuff. All right, this child's pose position is a tough one to work shoulder flexion from. All right. I want to set our scapula in depression and protraction. So that means my shoulder blades are away from my ear, but I'm trying to spread them. And from here with the left hand, I'm going to try to lift my straight arm off the ground. And we're going to hold it there for 5 seconds. Ready? Lift. Woo! Did not get very far. Also, if you notice, I just started to retract my shoulder blade. That is one way to lift the arm off the ground. I want to try to keep it protracted and force the true shoulder joint to do the work. All right? So that's what I'm going for here. See if you can get in touch with that. That's a hard
concept to recognize. All right, I'm here. Shoulder blades depressed, protract it. Deep breath in, brace. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, let's try 2 more. We'll just do 4 of these. Make sure we're not activating our neck either. Depress, protract. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. So you see on that one, I lifted my head. And it's funny, the body will just do stuff to make the action easier. So like I didn't consciously lift my head. It just happened to make the movement easier, the task. What Hinge stretch is really good at is isolating and doing a movement in a very specific certain way to target specific tissue. In this case, I'm trying to target shoulder flexion. So I am trying not to move the cervical spine. Last one. 3, 2, 1, lift. And down. Whew. Good job. Shake that out. Oh, that shoulder feels good. Neck feels good. Let's do 4 on the other side. You'll notice this will be a lot easier for me. All right. Here we go. Protract, depress. Lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Check the other shoulder. So I just noticed on that one, I'm really shrugging hard, which is a fault of mine. I want to keep both shoulder blades depressed, protracted. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Woo. Ah, nice work. Shake that out. Fix this head, man. Desperately need a haircut. Whew. Oh man, shoulders feel great. All right, and let's go into little seated infinity hover. So there's a favorite of mine. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to sit elevated on 2 blocks. All right, the higher elevation that you are, the easier this will be. And I'm going to go crisscross applesauce. You can do bear sit, butterfly, or even deep squat position. And now that I say that, I'm actually going to go deep squat position. So it's going to be here. I've been doing a lot of work for my hips in deep squat, so why not throw this in and work on it here. All right, so let's do infinity hovers. We're going to do 3 each way. Underneath, over top, lift off, extend, make sure you keep your head neutral. That's a major fault I have during this.
That's one. This kind of plays into that thoracic mobility that we worked on into the beginning. Two. One more. Three. Ooh. All right. Shake that out. Ooh. All right, I want to do some stuff from shoulder extension. So we worked on a lot of stuff kind of in here, shoulder flexion stuff, and that's where your arm comes up in front of your body all the way up to there. Being the sleeper stretch, the flexion lift-offs, right? And we got into some extension here with the infinity hovers. Let's do some extension elbow hinges from this shoulder extended position. All right, so it's gonna look like I'm in a push-up position. Just like this, all right? And now a lot of people have a tendency to have their shoulders kind of round and drop forward, all right? I want you to think about pulling those shoulder blades down and back, all right? Notice that my forearm is staying perpendicular to the ground. And what this looks like on one side, we're gonna do it both when we do it, is I'm just gonna lift off. And this is my starting position, just 1 little centimeter off the floor, okay? I'm also trying to keep my neck long and my spine neutral. Lift off, extend, bend, down, off, extend, bend, down. That's 3. 4. 5. Whew. My triceps are sore already from some tricep hypertrophy work yesterday. So that didn't feel great. But let's go right into some straight arm shoulder extension work in the crab hip thrust. So I'm here, I'm going to push those arms to the floor, drive the chest to the ceiling. Back down, tap. Alexa, set timer 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Tap. Take it slow. We don't need a ton of reps. And if you feel pretty good doing this, you can also add in a glide towards the knees. Again, try not to compensate using the neck. Think about retracting your chin, kind of the majority of the time, just a little bit, so that you don't shove it forward. That's one of the mistakes I made early on, with my shoulders not being super mobile. When I first started my mobility practice, I would jet my head forward to try to create more space there, and it's come back to haunt me a little bit. All right, keep going. Hands are slipping on this nice pink mat. Think about pushing through the hands. Don't just push through the hips. Oh, I forgot how much 2 minutes sucked to this. Alexa, how much time left?
You have less than 10 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
Alexa, stop timer. Ooh. So that definitely hits the elbows too. There's a lot of straight arm bicep work there. And definitely hits the elbows. Alright? So it's okay if your elbows feel a little funky during that. It's normal. Alright? I want to finish off with a little static stretching here for the upper back and shoulders. Alright? And this is going to be a thread the needle type stretch. Alright? Which we're going to then roll over. So I'm here, threading the needle, trying to get the back of the head down towards the floor. Pushing, finding balance. And then I'm opening up and pulling my body more into that roll. Alexa, set timer 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
Breathe. I'm going to push with my right foot, and then I'm going to set that knee back down. Remember, play with that angle. I feel this a lot more. Hard to breathe here. Oh, Alexa, stop timer. Oh, so once you get that basic setup, play with the angle of your arm, play with the angle of your head. You might be able to see a little bit better when I do it on this side. Kind of trying to find lines of tension. Everyone has different lines of tension. Every muscle has different lines of tension. You're not just working a whole muscle, you're stretching or working a specific line of tension. Alexa, set timer 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
So I'm really pushing and rolling. I can go there and then anchor again. If I pull this back, creates more stretch in that shoulder. But this is what I can handle now. Breathe. Ooh, Alexa, stop timer. Oh. Alright. Oh, man, that's a tough one. But it feels great. Just finish off with a little shoulder rolls, just non-distinct upper body shoulder movements. All of that just generally feels good. It loosens things. It tells your body, hey, I can still wiggle around, and has nervous system calm down. Well, thank you guys for joining me for upper back and shoulder stuff today. Hope to see everyone next week.